like fire.
Welcome back to DellWorld 2013. Thank you for tuning in. We're here with Jon Ferrara, CEO of Nimble. Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you, Carter. Pleasure.
And he is the creator of just the CRM movement, CRM solutions, which is why it's amazing to have you here. And it's more amazing to see what has been the biggest change in the 90s when you created CRM to now Nimble.com. What's been happening with the way salespeople build relationships?
Well, Carter, I think that the more we change, really the more we get back to the basics. And that business is about relationships. It's not B2C or B2B, it's P2P, right? And so basically, when you want to serve another business person, you're not selling to the company, you're selling to a person. And I believe that what made products like Goldmine so historic back in the day is they empowered business people to identify people that matter and to connect and develop a relationship where they understood that person's business issues, which as a professional they can then solve it. Today, what's changed is the ways we do it.
So what are a couple key things that people need to do with building relationships, solving issues for other people, with just the wide breadth of knowledge that you have? Yeah. What are a couple key starting points where someone says, I want to do it right, and I'm going to use your software, I at least got to get out there. Yeah. Where do they start to build relationships the right way?
I think a relationship is built by listening. Ultimately, if you're a good listener, you can identify people that matter and identify ways that you can serve their needs. And I believe sales is about service. I believe that businesses are about service. If you can empower more people to achieve their dreams, the more success you and your company will have. So ultimately, as a business professional today, if you want to grow your business, what you need to do is A, build your personal brand, and then grow your professional network. And you do that on a daily basis by being a trusted advisor to your prospects and customers, by inspiring and educating them on a daily basis about the promise of your products, as opposed to that you have great products. So my summary on that is, teach them to fish, don't tell them you have great fishing poles.
Good start. With teaching someone to fish instead of the fishing poles, what is Nimble.com? How does it help them do that? And how did you come up with that new shift, the new paradigm of 2.0 instead of 1.0 for CRM?
I think that the biggest struggle we have as business people is that we're overwhelmed with communications and conversations and opportunities. And ultimately, how do you find people that matter, establish connections with them, and then to nurture that connection into a mutually beneficial business opportunity? It's horrible. How's your inbox, Carter?
I don't want to talk about that right now.
I can't see people in my inbox, and I've got people touching my social graph on a daily basis where I'm missing opportunities. This is what inspired me to build Nimble, because traditional CRMs, you have to tell it what you did, who you did it with, and what you think the possibility of sale will be. Nimble automatically logs what you did, who you did it with, and it tells you the right person at the right time on the right channel and empowers you to connect authentically and relevantly. And the key thing is that today, before you meet with somebody, you Google them. You look them up and look at their walls. You identify if there's somebody that matters, and then you figure out what you might talk about and who you might connect through. The computer should do that for you. When you put in a name in Nimble, it automatically shows you their walls. It looks at their walls and figures out if this person matters because it knows the type of people you connect with. And then it tells you how you can connect, if you're connected, if your team members are connected, if your friends are connected, and allows you to establish a workflow to turn a relationship into revenue.
And the first time I logged into Nimble, what caught me was, yes, it's a good interface, but the intuitiveness of just sign up and then a video would come up. And I was just, I'm going to watch this, and I learned how to use it easier. What are the human skills behind that programming? Because it is so intuitive, and I looked at it even the first day, it made sense. Yeah. What are the human skills that you had programmed to just measure those relationships?
Well, Carter, one of the things that you have to understand is that I've been in the relationship business all my life. Back when I was 27 years old, I was a struggling salesperson. I couldn't manage my relationships with my leather-based day timer. I was doing my forecasts on spreadsheets, and I had a computer science background, and I said, there's got to be a better way. I couldn't find a better solution, so I was too young and dumb to know any better. I quit my job and started Goldmine. And basically, since then, I've been about empowering business professionals to achieve their business success by connecting to people that matter. So I've poured all the years of my experience about building relationships and nurturing that, growing your business into the Nimble platform. We've got an amazing team at Nimble that is constantly listening to our customers and tuning the workflow so that it's simple. Because ultimately, if technology can get out of your way and make your day easier, it's perfect.
And listening's so important. Taking the social media side, and well, the online side, let's say online media side, what should people be listening for? Because you built it into Nimble, but for people out there that are wondering, well, I can listen to a lot of things. Right. What should they listen for?
Well, first off, I just want to point out that Nimble ultimately is a relationship platform that ties in your most trusted asset, your contacts, and all the signals. So people call it social CRM. It's really about relationship management, and the signals that are important in your business include your email, your calendar, and all the connections and conversations on all your professional profiles in Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, Foursquare, Google+. And so ultimately, if you want to find signals that matter, what we do is we bring in all your people, we look at the people you connect with, we figure out the key types of DNA, and we help find more people like that. So you can think of Nimble as the Dropbox for your most professional asset, your contacts. And then like Pandora, we find people that matter and play more songs up for you. I'll give you an example. 2 weeks ago, I got a signal from Nimble. It said John Mason from IBM started following me. Now, I don't know if you watch Who Follows You. I don't, I can't. But Nimble does. So Nimble saw that John Mason started following me. It knew that that DNA of that person would matter to me. I went to that signal, I pulled that name out of the river, social river. Yeah. It put a record in Nimble, showed me all his profile cards. I saw he was the general manager of the SMB and mid-market group at IBM, you know, $1 billion, $2 billion segment of their business. And I immediately DM'd him because Nimble not only allows me to build a contact, it allows me to communicate to them. So I DM'd him. 30 minutes later, this guy DM'd me back. I said, hey, John, I'd love to connect. He DM'd me his cell phone and he said, how's Friday? And that's the natural way of conversation that business happens today. It's not by the phone, it's not by email, it's whatever channel is most effective for your customer, and it shifts across channels. So you need a nudge, that's Yiddish for the guy on your shoulder, who looks out for you and watches your contacts and your signals, helps you identify people that matter, establish a connection to turn that connection into measurable business growth.
So with everything that's been built now, and again, it's all based on the connection. I love it. I love even that example, was you're taking an online, offline, that would have been lost in the online river.
Out of the river.
Exactly, fishing out of the river. What's next for 2014? And not just programming and customer-wise, but enhancing what you just mentioned. Right. What's next?
Well, I think the most exciting thing that we've got in development at Nimble is Nimble Everywhere. And the idea is, even though our average user spends 2.5 hours a day in Nimble, which is incredible, they're spending other time in other places. So I believe that business professionals will wake up in the morning and go to sleep at night with Nimble, but during the day, they'll take that intelligence with them. So what happened is Microsoft contacted us and they said, John, you're pioneering genius with relationships and engagements. Will you plug that into Microsoft Outlook and Office 365? And I said, heck yeah. But I told my engineering team to build it in such a way that we could put it anywhere. So we then plugged it into Gmail in the Google Apps Marketplace and the Chrome Store so that Nimble now lives in your inbox. This is where you work. But not only that, we plugged it into Hootsuite. So basically where you listen, we now give you the context and the contacts. And when we showed that to the Hootsuite inside sales team, they said to me, we live in Marketo, Gmail, Hootsuite, and Salesforce. If you could put Nimble in our workflow, put it into our CRM, we will put our whole inside sales team on that, 60 people. And I said, let's go. So basically, we plugged Nimble into Salesforce in one day. They're up and running on it, and now the customer service people's contacting us, and they're saying, we want in too. So basically, the future will be Nimble will be with you every day throughout your day. You wake up in the morning with Nimble, you take it with you on your mobile, you have it in your inbox, and now it'll soon be in your CRM, your customer service application, your marketing platform, and your accounting system. Imagine if the entire customer-facing business team had access to a common record, common conversation, and enabled them to work collectively as a team in Salesforce, in Zendesk, in NetSuite, and Marketo, all from one platform. That's the future.
Thank you very much for your time, John, and more importantly, thank you for the amazing insights, online and offline, with the relationship building. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Carter.
Thank you so much, John.